Hello kids. So today we are going to deep down into the topic of light. In the previous class we have learned that light is a form of energy which helps to make things visible. And last class we have also learned that there are two types of light, that is reflection as well as refraction. Today we are going to learn in detail how the reflection works and how we can use it in our daily life. Okay. Now what is reflection? What we have learned in the last class? Reflection is nothing but the bouncing back of light. Bouncing back of light. Now what is this bouncing back of light? Example, like if I throw this marker, what will happen? It will just start, it gets bounced back, it gets reflected. If you're throwing a ball, it hits on a place and it gets reflected. That is called as bouncing back. Same pattern we are using it here also. You can see there is a presence of light and it falls on a surface and the surface bounces back. Now what is the meaning of surface? Surfaces we have two types. One we have smooth surface and another we have rough surface. Smooth surface, as you can see, I am using a whiteboard which is helping me out to write anything. This is very much smooth. So what happens, as you can even see that as the light is falling on the surface, there are some portions which is making this whiteboard to shine. Whatever things in your presence, in your environment which is shining, that all things have smooth surfaces. And what we will call as rough surfaces? Rough surfaces which does not shine, which is like you can see, if you are able to see, you can see my clothes, this clothes is now shining. Why? Because this is rough enough. What happens when the light falls on the smooth surface and rough surfaces? On smooth surfaces, you can see there are different arrows which are falling here. Now what is this different arrows? Because the light, there are different lights which are switched on. If I just make it in front of you, there are different lights which are switched on and these are falling on one single surface. As different switches are on a single surface, it reflects from the surface and it moves back. Now what happens in irregular reflection then? When the light are switched on from different regions, like we use it in our drawing room. In your drawing room, when you sit with your family, you have seen that there are different tube lights and bulbs which are present on the different regions. And that makes our whole room to be opened and it is visible. So at that time, we have irregular reflection. Now when you're seeing this video also, I'm having irregular reflection in this whole room. There are plenty of lights which are falling on my surface. So here also we have the pattern of irregular reflection. When we are learning physics and when we are learning the topic reflection, we only take smooth surface as well as regular reflection. Why do we do so? So that we can learn that as soon as a light falls on one surface, this is a surface and I am just making one line. Why I am making? So that I can declare that this is a smooth surface. As the light falls on any surface, it bounces back. So here we have only one source of light. I am repeating again. We have only one source of light and the other portions are dark where we are doing this experiment. Now let's learn more. As the light falls on the surface, it creates a point. And after that it creates a point, then it bounces back. Now what are these lines, and let's learn in detail. And then we will come to the law of reflection. The ray, the region or the line which falls on the surface, we call this ray as incident ray. As soon as it reaches, it forms point of incidence. The point of incidence creates an invisible perpendicular line which is called as normal, and this normal helps to make a bouncing back of light which is called as reflected ray. When the reflected ray and point of incidence meet, it forms an angle of reflection, and the angle which is formed between these two lines, we call it as angle of incidence. I'll just tell you, if you're not able to understand the angle, I'll just try. I'm having two markers. Okay, I'm just using it. You can see that there is a point of incidence. Yes, there is a point. I'll try to use it with one of these sketch pens also. You can see there are two markers and there's one blue color sketch pen which I'm using. Now these three things are representing the three things which we have in this diagram. The right color, this one, this red color marker represents the angle of this represents the incident ray. And the angle which you can just imagine what is forming between this blue line will be called as angle of incidence. And the point by which I'm just using it to hold, and this point will be calling it as point of incidence. And this ray which is just coming out, or I would say the marker, the black one, this will be marked as reflected ray. And what is this? If I'm not using this line also, if I'm not using this marker, still you all can imagine that there is something perpendicular by which the angle is being formed. So this invisible perpendicular line, we call it as normal. Now I hope it is very much clear. Yes. Now, when we have all these things, the reflection laws are being created. There are two different reflection laws. One, the incident ray, that is the incident ray, the normal as well as the reflected ray, they all falls on the point of incidence. They all falls on the point of contact. What is the meaning of point of contact? Suppose I'm having my hand here and I have just applied a light and it is not reaching. Will it bounce back? No. So that is why we say that it should intersect. It should have a point of contact. Next, what we have? The angle of incidence. Angle of incidence is being written as, this is the symbol of angle which you have learned in mathematics, and I we represent, this is small I, we never use capital I. Small I is equal to angle of reflection. So angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. We have learned the two laws. I'm repeating again. The incident ray, reflected ray and the normal, they falls on the same point of contact. Next, the angle formed, the angle of reflection, the angle of incidence and angle of reflection, both are equal to each other. Okay. Now, after this reflection has been formed, where should we use this? Where should we learn this? So for that, we have three different equipments. Mainly, we have mirror. Mirror, when we say in your house, you must have seen your faces every day in the morning. But have you ever thought that why the faces are not same when we just change our position? If you are moving forward, we look the same way, and if you are moving backward, we are not able to see the different things. So we have three different types of mirrors. One, we have plane mirror, concave mirror and convex mirror. Plane mirrors are the normal mirrors which we use in our daily life. That means every day morning when you see your face on the mirror, that mirrors we have as plane mirrors. And we have concave mirrors. Here I have used two examples. You can see there is a plate having something and there were some spoons. So I have just used the help of a spoon to explain what is concave and convex. This you can try at your own house. If you keep the spoon in this form, the region or the shape which is formed, we call this as concave mirror. And if you just twist it down, then what will happen? This will be called as convex mirror. But my doubt is that if I simply use any object twisting and turning, will it become a mirror? I'll just ask an example. Like I'm having these glasses. These are plain from the both sides. So can I call it a concave mirror or convex mirror? No, I cannot. Reason, because one side of the mirror should be painted. You must have seen that we have a silver touch at the behind. So that silver touch on any glasses, when we just paint it, so what will happen? It gets converted to mirror. Okay, concave mirror and convex mirror, this also you must have seen in your daily life. Like the camera, which I am just now focusing, it is having the convex mirror because you are able to see me. And what would be the concave mirror then? Concave mirror will be the selfie which you just take it. The selfie which you take it, we have two sides of back camera, one forward and backward. So the front camera will be having the concave effect and the back camera will be having the convex. Do try it at your home and do report it to me also. So we have learned that different mirrors have different pattern of reflection. In plane mirror, all the objects are seen to be same in shape, same size, exactly same. But in concave, the object appears to be, what is this? This is enlarged. So the object appears to be enlarged in concave mirror. Whereas in convex, it appears to be size reduces. The size used to get reduced. In the next class, we will be learning how the ray diagrams are being formed by the concave as well as convex mirror. Before that, come learn with all the topics and we will have a revision. Thank you for today.